let's talk about the Premier League, guys. What do you think?
Arsenal are flying. And apparently, every player in Arsenal who was expected to perform is scoring and doing an assist.
Yeah.
So, that is the highlight for me. Is it seems like Man City are dropping and they might not catch Arsenal the way things are going. Yeah.
Dan, there is something that I mentioned here the other day we had a podcast, and you need to bring Nani back. You need to bring Ochola back, because I said City were very good because they had wingers who could be able to score and run at their men. And now they don't have that. They have the Grealish type who is more of like pushing you back and not beating the man and passing. Same to Bernardo and whatever. But now I think we are seeing it because you like that dynamism. It's either you pass it round and try and create a chance with De Bruyne's cross or something. But you don't have where if it refuses, Sané can just run past you and create something, or Sterling the other side and cross or do something. But I don't know, but Man City, if they don't buy good wingers in
Actually,
January.
If you're talking about this Everton game, then my opinion is the squad selection was poor from Pep Guardiola, and also his game management. It was evident in the first half. Emmanuel I told him, this first half, KDB didn't play anything.
Mm-hmm.
If Pep was saying that, then he could have rested KDB, bring on Gundogan early enough. You have Foden, who is a very good player. He had good form in the World Cup. He's not injured. Why are you benching Foden in such a critical game? You have the likes of Kyle Walker. You have Cancelo. So I don't know. I know Pep is trying to bring this Team B to give them more matches, but when you realize your team is not performing, especially in the early minutes of the second half, make those critical subs.
But in his defense, I will say you cannot get rid of KDB because this is KDB. He can not play well for 90 minutes and then 92, the 2 minutes in extra, he puts a cross that kills the whole defense.
Yeah,
I agree, but you see, KDB, I think he has played a lot of games. Remember, he played Carabao. He played this other game which we won, Leeds, and they also played the Everton game. So, give KDB half first half, or maybe rest him in the first half, bring him in the second half. It's only fair because he's a player as well. Yeah?
So he
has his bad days.
Okay.
So I my opinion is Pep could have managed the game better and we could have gotten a result.
The next game you're having Chelsea. I don't know. I feel
for me, I feel this way. It's not about KDB in this game alone. I kind of feel that maybe the impact of Grealish is not enough on the flank, because I mean KDB is every time he gets the ball he's looking for Haaland, which it makes it so easy to like
anticipate
cut off that supply. So if you ask me, I think that perhaps the fact that you guys are over relying on Haaland is a big.
I have a question. Why are you guys saying we're over relying on Haaland? We're not over relying on Haaland. Actually,
you are.
Because
Haaland is getting De Bruyne.
Other factors that affected that game. There was a lot of breaks during that game, which I think affected our momentum. I don't know what was happening with the assistant referee and technology. That game was paused for 6 games. Fans are booing. It's raining. Haaland is getting.
But actually, the way you're saying, I think it favored Everton those many breaks because he lacked the momentum.
But you see, for Everton, they had this one magic moment where Gray, you can't give Gray space. So Gray
top corner.
It's a beautiful. So my point is this: we're not over relying on Haaland. It's basically the squad selection. You see, this is my point. When you have Foden, Haaland, maybe Mahrez or Bernardo Silva, then KDB, and another creative mid, you have options. But for this particular game, it looked like we were over relying on Haaland because we didn't have options. The only option was cross the ball, hoping Haaland.
Haaland will be there somewhere.
This is the thing, Dan. Well, before Haaland, KDB would pop up in the box and score. But now KDB seems like he has no interest.
He's not interested in the box.
He has no interest The other thing, I think, if you ask me, it is more of, you see the thing you're saying, the breaks and everything. You should expect that when you're playing an underdog, especially the likes of Everton. Chances are they haven't come there to play.
They want to disrupt the football as much as possible.
They want to disrupt the momentum. So it's just upon you as a team to know how to bring up that momentum. But I also have a feeling that, well, maybe if you say Foden was supposed to start,
Exactly.
to be honest, he was supposed to start, and I am not so sure whether Grealish should be starting anymore because I did not see his impact, and I think he just makes Man City. And again, the way Kelvin is saying, it is true. You guys need to sign wingers who have.
You need to sign wingers because they're too predictable.
Yeah.
Let us now talk about something else about Man City. The Man City and Chelsea game. That's the big game that is coming up. Whom do you think is going to win?
Well, definitely Man City will win.
Definitely.
It's almost definite because, like I said here, Potter doesn't have a clear plan on what he's trying to do, or rather, whatever he's trying to do hasn't come to fruition as at now. So when we have injuries of N'Golo Kante and our CDM, and we have Azpilicueta, and we have Cucurella, that means on these three areas where Jorginho would be playing as a central defensive midfielder will be overrun, where Azpilicueta is playing as a right back will be overrun, where Cucurella is playing as a left back will be overrun. And Thiago Silva is a good positioning defender, but he does not thrive when we are being chased by somebody who has a terrific space. So basically, here we are only over relying on Koulibaly, and Koulibaly seems to be out of position sometimes, and Kepa sometimes he saves, but when he also has a lot of pressure, he cannot contain it. So basically,
done and dusted.
Basically, it just means that if we are to pull a result, the thing is we are supposed to sit deep, have a back five, and catch these guys on a break, and that is just basically the plan. But if we come to the open, chances are we will concede.
Okay, interesting. Dan?
I think we're playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I'm seeing a very tight game. Probably the most goals, 2 goals, maybe a 1-1 or a 2-0 for Man City.
But either way, Man City win.
I feel we should win this game. I know the team having lost points to Everton, they have this push to give it a more to be more serious in the field, because us losing points, I feel it's about our players not giving it all. It's about them just being careless in the pitch and allowing their opponent to. But if we are serious and winning this and playing the game as we should be winning this game.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. I something you've said. I think Pep also said the reason he's putting I think Ryan Lewis or his name at right back is because he wants to integrate somebody who has not won, because he feels like the other guys have won 5 Premier Leagues. Okay, what's the point? What's the point? But yeah, that's very interesting. To the Chelsea and Man City game, I think both teams will want to win. Potter is too inconsistent at the moment. He might have gotten a big contract, but if the fans don't want you, at the end of the day, you will have to leave at some point. So I think the fact that he has a big contract does not mean he should be complacent. It's going to be a very interesting game, because I think Pep and the players will want to show that we are still in this title race. They will not want to lose. But also Chelsea want to show we can ruin the party. We are also fighting for Champions League football, because if they continue being inconsistent, they may not even get Europa, which is not good for Chelsea. And the money, and they are considering the amount of money they've spent.
I have a feeling it's not about Potter per se. It's about the quality that Chelsea players have when the stars of Chelsea have injury prone, the likes of Chilwell, N'Golo Kante, and Reece James. So whether it's Tuchel playing and these three people are injured, we are like, trust me, there's nothing much we do because I mean ideally our midfield is not a midfield that scores. Jorginho would not give you a goal unless it's a penalty. Kovacic will not give you a goal unless he just dribbles and get somebody else to score. This other guy,
Mount.
Zakaria.
Mhm.
Okay, Mount can give you a goal, and you see Mount again. He has these ups and downs, and yeah. So this is just it. So if these people are not in form, then there's nothing much as
The
a
coach can do.
as a coach you can
I
do.
still feel he can do much more with his team, but anyway, I think it's going to be an interesting game, depending on what Potter takes or how Potter plays. But I foresee a 2-0 Man City win, just because I know Man City will have to turn up. KDB will not want to lose it. Haaland will be like, I want to win the Premier League. I want to show that we can hunt. Arsenal also, I think a 2-0 win to Man City. I think Chelsea will be caught out a lot.
Well, but I have a feeling that when Chelsea could decide to pull a result, but again I don't see it because if and only as Bill Quetta plays,
It's done.
it's done and dusted. But, I mean, and I don't know who else can play that wing, so that's why I don't see them winning. But if they decide to do some sort of invention and get somebody to play there, well, I think we can pull a result.
Okay, let's not dwell on this Chelsea Man City thing. These people are somewhere. Let's talk about Liverpool. Liverpool are coming up. They are seeming to be chasing Champions League football, and yeah, they look strong. Okay, though I can say the Leicester game, Liverpool somehow found 2 goals from luck. Leicester scored 3 goals, but they still ended up losing because that was some ridiculous own goals. So let me ask: do you think Liverpool are back, or it's just a matter of time because before they start losing again?
Well, I think it's a matter of time before they start losing. Just because I don't think Salah is performing the way he should be performing. And well, Nunes again seems to be the guy who should step up, but then he's missing too many chances. And maybe if something happens and he doesn't get to score, and Salah that time is not at his best, then chances are they will not win that match. What do you think?
I think Liverpool are back and they're here to challenge for the top 4 position because you look at their form, they've won their 4 last games. And Salah, I think Salah is back because before this game week, which they didn't score, they were scored by Leicester. Salah, the previous game, I think they played really well. Trent, Salah, and also Nunes. So I think Liverpool are back. They'll win today against Brentford.
Yeah, Liverpool are playing away to Brentford.
Yeah, they'll win. Actually, they'll win actually 4 goals.
I would say it's a tricky fixture if you ask me.
Yeah, they are away to Brentford.
Yeah,
and Evan Tony will be back.
Now, looking at their form, they've been having a better away record than home record.
Okay.
So they won away against Tottenham, away against Aston Villa 3-1. Then they're now meeting Brentford away. I think Liverpool should get a result.
Okay. I don't know why. I feel Brentford will pull a surprise. I feel a 2-1 win to Brentford because this Liverpool are just looking shaky and they have won too much. They have been too inconsistent this season, so I'm not really sure they're back. I feel it's just luck. Because the Leicester game, it was just luck for them. Patson Daka got injured, and then they were opened up with for the first goal. Like somebody just runs through the middle, all of you, as if there is nobody. I feel Liverpool, they still have a lot to do in order for them to be back. And Nunes needs to step up. He's still not stepping up. He's still missing too many chances. But I feel Brentford will cause an upset. I foresee a 2-1 win for Brentford.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about each team. Tottenham. Tottenham guys who are being lauded as the dark horses for the Premier League. They're struggling. They lost 2-0 to Aston Villa. Unai Emery has never lost to Tottenham. So Tottenham. What's happening with Tottenham?
Well, Tottenham is, I think the sort of system that Conte is trying to build, probably he doesn't have the right set of players that should execute his plan. Chances are he's trying to do modifications, and you see he has like some sort of counter-attacking football, and they do it with pace, and they defend deeply. Seems like the Tottenham players do not know that. I think Tottenham it has a culture where they just play football casually and win.
They don't know how to win. They don't have a winning mentality.
Yeah. So, but I think, well, I'm not so sure. I don't see any way back for Tottenham for the top 4. So
top four of the title.
No,
it's top 4. It's never about the title.
The title is.
They're only, I think, 1 point or 2 points behind Manchester United. Though Manchester United have a game in hand, and Liverpool are, I think, 2 points behind them, and they also have a game in hand. I don't know. I feel Tottenham. They lost to Aston Villa. Who are they playing next? I'm not
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Away at home.
It's
a London derby. I think they might also lose that one. Actually, an interesting start. Tottenham. The Tottenham's opponent has scored first in the last 10 games. 7 in the Premier League. That's very interesting. That means Tottenham are not playing probably as Conte wants, because Conte's team do not concede as much as they do. Yeah. So I think the way Obiri is saying, they like the right profiles, they like the right people. And interesting. So I don't know, you have not given your thoughts. What do you think? Crystal Palace, Tottenham?
I think Tottenham this time
should win.
They'll try and win this game. Also, Crystal Palace have not been convincing of late, so I give it a win for Tottenham.
Yes. Okay, interesting.
I don't really think Zaha has turned up the way I used to see him, so I just think Tottenham should win. Probably Harry Kane should turn up for this match.
I think I disagree with all of you. I think Crystal will win. It's a London derby.
Actually, Crystal won away their previous game.
It's a London derby, and then Crystal will want to do something. And then I think this Tottenham are lacking a little bit of confidence too. So unless Harry Kane and so on decide to turn up because of quality, I feel they might actually lose, because the last games they concede fast, and then the other team sit too much back, and they Harry Kane and co find a way. I think this game Crystal Palace are going to actually beat Tottenham, and I foresee a 2-1 win for Crystal. Harry Kane will get his goal, probably a penalty one, but a 2-1 win for Crystal. Who else was playing the top 6? I think we have talked about all the top 6.
You're missing about one game, the most important game.
That's why
the only game Newcastle is about.
No, I've not forgotten. The Premier League leaders are supposed to be given their own time. They are supposed to take their time before talking about the Premier League. Actually, let's talk about the game.
Manchester United is playing Bournemouth.
That should be a win.
But you remember last weekend, all games we were saying easy. Those teams went up and dropping points.
And you said Manchester United might receive an upset, and Rashford came in from the bench. Interesting, but either way.
Because chances are Rashford will play.
Yeah.
And if he plays, then I don't see Bournemouth turning up for that game, honestly.
Bournemouth have been
very, very, very poor. But again, I think they are under new management, right?
Yeah, owners.
Owners. So chances are we could be seeing some new changes in the future, but as at now, Manchester United should.
I don't think they have the quality. Manchester United will. Do you agree, guys?
I agree. Actually, I expect them to score many goals in that game.
FPL, we are looking. So let's talk about the big, the Premier League leader. 7 points clear at the top of the table. A hard fought 4-2 win at the Brighton Stadium.
Hard fought, really?
Actually, I think it was hard for one. I think this time Arsenal were very clinical. I'm not sure how clinical. I'm not used to Arsenal being this clinical, but they were very, very clinical.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3-0 up, Arteta decides, let's rest people for the Newcastle game. And then we almost lost the game. They scored and they almost scored a third. Apart, it was just offside, slightly offside. And this Mitoma guy. Where has he been? Where has he been? But yeah, I think it was hard fought, but yeah, Arsenal got the job done.
Yeah, so the question is, what would happen in Newcastle?
Yeah, the Arsenal was the Newcastle game.
Yeah, I think it's a very...
Arsenal are at home and they have a 100% record.
Okay,
games.
It could be that Arsenal are at home, but have you looked at how Newcastle have been playing lately? They haven't lost a game since I don't know when.
Yeah, actually, the last game they lost was the Liverpool game. They've only lost one game all season.
Yeah, and probably they have just drawn like one. Chances are these guys are on the title race. If you guys are not careful, if they manage to pull a result against Arsenal, they can get themselves into that mix of the title race.
Yeah, I don't know.
They can.
Yeah.
It's too early.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that if they manage to beat Arsenal and let's say Arsenal gets a few upsets in the future and they continue with this kind of form that they have shown, chances are they could even get into that title race, because if Man City are also dropping points, chances are they could win the
What do you think? Who's going to win? Stop predicting too much. Who's going to win?
Well, it's a very hard one. I would give it a draw, because I'm not so sure which of the teams actually can drop points. Chances are both teams look too good to drop points. I don't know.
Dan.
I think Arsenal are favourites to win this particular game. As Kevin has said, Arsenal are very clinical. They're taking their chances. I mean, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka.
They're all scoring.
Nketiah, they're on fire. And as I said last time, Arsenal are not losing their form anytime. However, watching the Bournemouth game, I saw there's a lot of laxity in your defense. Brighton, yes, in your defense.
Saliba.
If you get players who are running and giving problems to Saliba and Gabriel, then you guys might concede some goals. Remember the thing I said last time, Arsenal will score. So what will make the other team to fancy a chance to win that game? They also need to score. They need to score Arsenal. So this might be a high scoring game. I think if Wilson and Maximin and who's the other guy? Almiron. If these guys turn up and run and create these chances, they score 2 goals. If Arsenal has to win, they have to score 3 goals. So I'm giving it a very tough game.
Let me give you some stats just before you continue. Arsenal have only conceded within the first 30 minutes, I think only once this season, and I think it was the West Ham game, and it was a penalty, and it was in the 29th or something minute. The only team not to concede within the first 30 minutes, and I think that was the first game. Arsenal is the only team to score in the first 30 minutes of not every game, but has scored the most goals within the first 30 minutes of games. We are at home. Arsenal have won all their matches at home.
Relax. Before you go far, this is just something that has come to my mind. Yeah. I think this Newcastle could pull a result. I'll tell you why. Arsenal are more possession based. Yeah? Newcastle are more pressing based. So if you guys open up your pitch and you do one mistake, that could be very costly.
Something to note, Arsenal are a very good counter-pressing team. We rely on you winning the ball off us to create our chances. The Brighton game, Lamptey won the ball, came to attack us. Partey made a tackle, we went directly past them, Saka scored. The West Ham game, Rice won the ball, tried to run, Partey made a tackle, we scored a goal immediately after that. So most of our goals that we've scored almost in the last 3 or 4 games have come off teams winning the ball off us and trying to create a chance. We are one of the best counter-pressing teams in the league. We rely on the teams winning the ball and trying to attack us immediately after for us to create our chances. Because when they win the ball, they try to go at us, they open spaces. And us, we have many people in the attacking zones. So the moment they try and attack and we win the ball back, then we have more space to attack. So, interesting enough, let me tell you, Newcastle are a boogie team for Arsenal, but I don't see them winning this game for 2 reasons. One, Arteta and the boys will be very angry considering how the season ended last season. Newcastle are the team that prevented Arsenal from getting Champions League football. Arteta will make sure he tells the boys that they need to perform, they need to show up, they need to tell Newcastle we are still here. We are not joking. 2, we have the crowd. We have the 12th man. I think they will be up for it. They will want to show Newcastle that we are in the title race. We are here. So that's I think Arsenal will win, and it's not going to be easy, but we will win. I think a 3-0 win for Arsenal.
I think Newcastle will win. Actually, I've changed my mind because I just think when I compare to how Newcastle played Chelsea and Arsenal played Chelsea, I kind of feel that Arsenal gave us more chances compared to Newcastle. Newcastle literally ran over us, and if they play like that, chances are you guys. It might seem that I think it's a very tight margin. It could be 1-0 either way. Yeah.
So 1-0 to Newcastle.
But the thing with Arsenal, you are conceding, but the thing with Newcastle, they're not conceding.
I don't know. Let's wait and see. Dan, I want your thoughts.
I've already said Arsenal is winning this game. I just have a feeling Newcastle will play good, but they'll be
clinicalness of Arsenal.
Yeah, they'll be done. So 3-2 is my score to Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll definitely continue. Yeah, so guys, that I think this podcast has been very long today. I want to apologize, but it's going to be interesting. You'll have to get to the end of it because, guys, there was a lot to talk about. We had to discuss all these teams and how they are performing and look at and tell you if you are going to put your money on a team, which team should you put your money on? Last weekend was a bloop. I don't think it's going to happen again. Where teams are losing that we do not expect to lose, but yeah, for this game week, I think we are spot on most of our predictions, so you can bet on us. That has been the BallPod podcast, the Premier League show. Interesting. Let's meet in the next episode. We'll look at what happened and what will happen.
Yeah.
See you next episode, guys.
Cheers.
Join us for the FPL. Bye-bye.